it?
Maybe.
Do we just sit here or do we start?
No, we're going to sit here for a minute for people to get on. There we go.
I don't like this.
I know. All right. Well, we should check to make sure we're actually live. So I'm going to check on my phone.
Our first live of the series, and I'm nervous.
There we go. We're here.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Look at how nice your walls look on there. My computer screen has turbo color. Okay.
Oh, brother.
Let's get rid of that. All right. Well, we're going to wait a minute or so and see if we can get anybody to pop in here because we are a little early, but I wanted to make sure that the computer was working. And that way, we have no tech problems mid-video. Don't say it out loud. All right, Facebook Live has changed since the last time I've used this. We can create a poll for the people who watch. Ooh. All right. This is fun.
We're learning as we go.
Question. What's your name? Oh, no, it's a poll.
To poll people on their names.
What can we ask people?
What brought them here?
No, you gotta give options.
Oh. Did they already set New Year's resolutions?
Oh, okay.
Put me on the spot here.
You came up with something faster than I did. New Year. Is there an apostrophe?
Yeah. Right?
I think
The
so.
year owns the resolution.
The sun has gone down. I'm thinking, here's a resolution. Get. Option. Yes. No. Kinda.
Put a, I'm not sure, my brain is so fried. That's how I feel after the holidays.
Right? Alright, let's save this. Oh, now I want to see what it looks like. Nobody's going to join or listen to this because I spent the most of the time just looking at myself. No, that's not it. I showed up right away the first time. Is it in here? There it is. Okay, so.
Or does it show the poll?
I don't know.
Well, there's a poll in there.
All right.
Anyways, should we get started?
Let's get started.
Okay. You're the leader, go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Christina. I am the face behind Point Nourish, and this is my good friend.
Danielle, hello. I own Mountains of Wellness, and we've come together to do some group programming and some events and things, but tell them a little bit about what you do at Point Nourish first.
We're going to be great at this. So the thing that got me into wellness was essential oils. And that led me down a rabbit hole of trying to peel away the things that are not needed and focus in on the things that are needed to optimize my health and essentially then share it with everybody that would listen to me, because I like to talk a lot about the stuff that I'm passionate about, and I'm excited to find more people to share that passion with and listen. So I help people a lot of times reduce toxins in their life, find supplements that they might need, and ultimately like health and wellness in general. Danielle.
I'm a mind, body, soul coach, and I help people to grow and heal, whether that is for a physical illness, which is what got me kind of on this path myself, chronic illness that I had been trying to figure out for a long time, that I ended up taking just every course under the sun and every healing modality, so I'm kind of putting it all together and under the Mountains of Wellness umbrella. I do one-on-one coaching with people. I do a lot of things that are holistic. So whether you are trying to change your diet or your lifestyle, stress management, if you just don't even know where to start, that's usually the kinds of people that find me if they're in the middle of transitions or they're just trying to navigate whatever storms in their life. I'm also a Reiki master teacher, so I do Reiki healing. And we do a lot of different things that we're starting to put together now. So like we said before, different events and programs. I never in a million years thought I was going to do any kind of group programs because most of my stuff is one-on-one. But Christina has given me the confidence and courage to do this with her. So we have been trying to come up with as many different ways as possible to really just bring wellness to people in a way that is easy, fun, and accessible. So we just did a winter solstice event together because we came together to put, we keep calling it ETT, but in case you're wondering what that means, it's Elevate, Transform, and Thrive. We started with a guided wellness journey for women, and our first group program we had 10 people in, and we're going to be doing another one, a 90-day journey starting February. But we started thinking about other ways to get people into health and wellness through just different events, workshops, classes, this mini series, just a free way for people to dip their toe in, learn a little bit about us and what they need in life and wellness as well. But really, we're just here because we've been through it and we understand and we support each other. So we want to support other people the same way. So if you are feeling confused or overwhelmed or burnt out or alone in this journey, that's what we're trying to help you to feel better about.
Hear, hear. Good job. So we'll get more into our next 90-day program at the end of the video. But we're going to start with today, our topic is why New Year's resolutions don't stick and what actually works. Because this is the time of year where that's what's going around, right? So January has this specific energy to it, right? So a lot of the times we start off motivated, we're hopeful, and we can even be excited for the new year. And then really quickly we end up getting tired or we feel behind because we have these high hopes and dreams and all this list of things that we're going to accomplish and do, and then we're not where we want to be. And those same patterns happen over and over again. So you may have gone in all in with your goals this year, and maybe some of you didn't even make a goal because you didn't want to be disappointed. You didn't want the same thing to happen that has happened in the past. And if any of the stuff we're saying sounds familiar to you, we just want to say that you're not alone.
Yeah, it sounds familiar to us. I've been the person that has literally sat down and created a 45-page plan of the 20 goals I set for myself and all the action steps and all of the things, and then got officially burnt out about a month later. Or even if I do actually accomplish those things, it's at the expense of my mental health and peace and balance. And I've definitely been, I don't know about you, but in the place of, oh my God, I'm supposed to be setting resolutions right now. I'm exhausted. It's winter. Yeah, I don't want to do anything at all. Yeah. And just where do I start? There is a million things I want to work on at one time. I literally don't know where to start. There's information coming at me from everywhere. Everybody's posting about, their recaps from last year and they're doing great and they're starting this and that and you're feeling behind. Trust me, we've been there.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with us and there's nothing wrong with you. Tonight we just want to talk about what can you do about this? How can we make this simple and manageable so that we're not overwhelmed with all this information? We're going to pare things down for you tonight so that you're actually going to leave with something tangible that you can use right away. And if you want to comment on the video as you're watching it, feel free to. We want to make this low pressure, so we didn't want anybody to feel like they had to show their face on the video, so that's why we went with the Facebook Live. So feel free to comment and let us know you're here.
Which, just to normalize that, if you do feel like that, that is, and we'll talk a bit about this, but nervous system regulation. It's not uncommon, and it's not because you're not good enough or you're broken or whatever it is. It's very common to not even be able to get yourself to a point of starting. there's a big difference between desire to change and like that capacity to, and knowing where to start. And so that's why we are doing it this way, so that you can kind of dip your toe in and feel safe with us, and hopefully, come back for more. But just say it a million times, it's all normal. I think we tend to get in our heads and think it's just us, that, everybody's doing all the things, but I can't. It's like, most people feel like this. Most people have a hard time committing to something. Most people have a hard time showing up, and they say yes to a program and then they hide from it, or whatever it is, because that's just human nature. And we live in a very high stress, low support environment right now. That's just the culture, which we're trying to change. That's why we're here trying to tell you, we're not perfect either. We're trying to work through these same things too. So join us.
Right. And that's why we focus on this early in our programs too, so that you have a container to pour into when you are trying to do all the right things for your health and wellness. So a lot of times I'm sure like even you might be feeling this, or you've told yourself this, like, try harder, be more consistent. I just need the right plan. I didn't plan right. I didn't buy the right planner.
Or maybe there's another program out there for me, or that quick fix, or whatever the pill is that you think that is like, I just take this and it's magic. It's like, kind of spoiler alert, it doesn't work that way, and there is no magic pill.
Right.
Sorry to be that person, but maybe this will make you feel better, because those things didn't work, not because they don't work for you, but because they just don't work like that.
Right. And there's reasons why this is happening in your nervous system. So your body makes a decision before your mind does. When you're stressed, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, your nervous system is in survival mode. It is in that fight or flight mode. And even good habits, when you're in that state, feel like threats. And you might think like, what the heck, why? I'm trying to do the right thing here. How am I supposed to get out of that? So if you've been in those situations where you're like, why is this so hard? Why can't I just do the thing that I know I need to do? It's because you're trying to build habits on top of your burnout. Instead, we need to take a look at what is happening. Just because exhaustion and tension and poor sleep and overwhelm are common or even considered normal, that doesn't mean they're good. And we shouldn't be trying to change when we're in that state. So in our program, we don't start with like big changes or whatever. There's a lot of awareness at the beginning. So we need to bring ourselves back to center ourselves before we can build in the right direction.
Yeah, because the nervous system is always going to react when you do something different. I mean, your nervous system and your brain, they're built for efficiency. And what is familiar, it just feels better, because it is like, even the familiar misery, like your nervous system prefers that, honestly, because it's predictable. So it thinks, well, like, at least I know the state. So the second that you decide that you want to change, your nervous system is like, wait, what? What are we doing here? It's just going to go on high alert. Again, it has nothing to do with your capacity to change or grow. It's just that you're pushing yourself to those limits, and your body is going to respond. And it responds in ways that you don't expect. And so a lot of times we'll hear from people like, one version of me said yes to this program, and the other version of me is just like running and hiding. Like, that is very normal.
Well, I said that the other day. I was like, 9 a.m. me is not 4 p.m. me. Like, what was I thinking at 9 a.m. and why I was going to do this tonight? Because it's not happening.
I know, which is like, that's what you were talking about with burnout too, that we say yes to a lot of things when we're feeling good and energized, and those things are probably good for us. But as soon as we feel tired or burn out, we don't have that same capacity to continue to choose the hard things. And it doesn't mean the hard things are bad for us. It just means that our capacity got smaller. And honestly, like, we're all running on E right now. Everybody is stressed and overwhelmed. And if we've never actually done something to bring ourselves back from that fight or flight response, like, we are just on a constant run of burnout. And now we're asking our body to do something that is hard. Of course it's going to react. And so that, like, what we're talking about right now, starting slowly, that building the capacity, it's really like priming your nervous system to be able to handle the change and the growth. And, those growing pains are a real thing. It won't be triggered as much if it is ready and it's comfortable to go. And that's, again, not because you're weak or broken or not capable. It is a normal thing, and it is what most programs skip over, is that nervous system priming. And so you start something and you're running on adrenaline. When you do a 30-day program, you're like, I got this, I can do everything. Like, yeah, you can for a certain amount of time until you hit that limit, which everybody's limit is different, but you will inevitably crash and burn because you did not build the foundation. You're building a house on like a cracked foundation and wondering why it keeps toppling over.
Right. And like we want to start with like, okay, everybody's stressed. Everybody's nervous systems. Well, what is that though? So if you watch this, give us your email address and I'm going to send you guys a checklist. And I was going to share it, but my computer just said that there's experiencing some sort of connection
Technical
difficulty. So I'm not going to switch screens and I'm not going to change it. But I just kind of want to go over it so that when you see it, you know what it is. And it's just like identifying body signals and when they're coming up. We're not even going to get to the part of like, well, what does that mean? That's down the road. What does it? When am I feeling the most tired and stressed out? When is my mind racing? When is that brain fog kicking in? When am I feeling like antsy? What are some other things? Digestion. Like, am I bloated or do I have an upset stomach?
And what does that even mean? I mean,
Right.
most of the time, we say this all the time, like we know more about what's going on in our cars than we know what's going on in our own bodies.
Yeah.
So there's all these signals that our body's also always giving us, and it's feedback, and we just don't even know how to interpret it. And so a lot of times it's not even bad information, we just don't know what's going on in it. And it's like stumbling around in a dark room if we're just going to skip right over to action and, doing all the things without turning the lights on and seeing what's in there first. We need to bring awareness to our current baseline state and what our body is reacting to or not reacting to, and how else are we going to be able to understand ourselves and what we need if we don't take stock of what's going on inside of us in the current moment? We can't just skip right ahead to, the goals, setting the goals and the plans and things like that. Like we said before, you can do that, but you're going to just immediately burn right out, and it's never going to be sustainable. So you got to prime the system, and you have to understand your body and understand those signs so that when you do start to feel something, you know what it means, and that it's just a signal. It's not a stop sign. A lot of times I think we feel a fear or we feel something come up in us and we think, oh, this isn't right for us, turn around, go back, the end of the road, when like maybe it's just a detour or maybe it's just a sign we're interpreting wrong. So that's what we're kind of here to help you with too, in part of the guided journey that we do. A lot of it is just helping to translate what our body signals mean and, what we should feel like and what is expected so that that this stuff is normal. Without that, you're just stumbling around on your own, and it really is overwhelming and difficult.
Yeah, we've been doing that ourselves
For decades.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of you guys listening that have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, or you have just something going on and the doctor's like, well, your labs are normal. You're like, well, why do I feel this way? What is it? And you start looking up the things and you're like, well, it could be this, should be this. I should take this supplement. I should do this. I should give up that. There is so much out there, and we want to save you some time. So come talk to us because we have spent years ourselves individually before coming together to work with each other and help each other with our own, health issues and stuff like that. But it makes sense to have a community around you when you're trying to make a change, because that community is going to support you.
Yeah, because we aren't sitting here talking like we're experts because we're on some sort of a pedestal here. Like we know a lot of stuff because we stumbled around in the dark for a long time. And a long time on our own too. And like Christina just said, like finding each other, supporting each other, but also building other people around us, building this whole community around us. It helps you to feel like this isn't just me. I feel hopeful. Things are possible, because that's the other thing, that you look around or your doctor tells you or whatever you see on social media, the news, that like, well, everybody feels like this and everybody's burned out and everyone, as we age X, Y, and Z, like none of those things are actually true. And you do not need to like succumb to that propaganda.
Stay away. But like back to our program here, like in the beginning, like the missing piece is that regulation. we need to regulate our bodies. And if you're anything like me, the second somebody's like, just write it down, think about it before you take. I am like an action first person. Like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. Trust me, you do. Okay, so don't spend 10 years just taking action and not stopping and making sure that your action is actually moving you forward instead of just spinning you in circles.
Yeah, for years, I thought that taking action before even thinking about it was like a strength and a smart thing to do. And I recently just learned, Christina and I have been talking about this, that that's a survival, like, coping mechanism, and I'm not, like, super excited about this realization.
Me either.
Because I still want to take action. Like, as soon as I feel the stress or the trigger, it's like, all right, let's solve it immediately.
Right, like, what do we do?
But
just make it stop.
It's like being lost in the middle of the woods with fog. You don't just start running in any direction. Like, you figure out, where am I? What is going on? What direction is, yeah, what am I even running towards? So that's what we're trying to help you guys with. And again, not because we're on a pedestal and we're perfect. I'm still reminding myself of this every day. Right. But if we don't stop and orient, like, you're just dysregulating yourself even more. And think about if you were lost in the woods, but you were also exhausted and you are cranky and you haven't eaten or drank or had any sleep or anything. Do you think you're going to be making rational choices on which direction to go? No. You're completely burnt out and dysregulated and overwhelmed. Like, that's the state that we're all in, trying to choose our best self and make all these goals and start charging forward on them in January when it is like -2. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
I was saying earlier, I even was on a webinar recently and somebody from Florida, and they're like, "Oh, it's so cold here." It was like 57. I was like, "Shut up!
Know what cold is?
You don't know. You don't know." But when you have that regulation, when your body feels safe, those healthy choices, those good habits that you want to form, actually stop feeling like a fight, and they settle into the right places, and you can build that foundation to build off of. You have that solid foundation. So after that, consistency becomes easier, and it's not because you're trying harder, it's because your nervous system isn't fighting you. So the first phase of our program is not action oriented, it is awareness oriented. And if you want something that's going to stick, you need to make it a priority to build that awareness around where you're at.
We were just talking about what other programs do, and it's like pouring into a container that can't hold it. So it's like a fire hose that you're just squirting into a shot glass, and like, why is it going all over the place? Well,
What's going on? Nothing's getting in there.
You're pouring into a small container. Like, we have to build the capacity for change. And it's really nice when we have these huge goals and we want to do all of the things, but like, if you do not also build capacity alongside of that, that's literally what you're doing. You're spraying tons of water into something that can't sustain, right? You just picture it like,
yes.
What is happening?
Especially it's like splashing back into my face. That's what I'm doing. Like, make it stop.
So what we do is we put a little bit of water into that shot glass, but then we start to make the shot glass bigger. Now maybe we have a mug, the size of a teacup. And then we start putting a little bit more water in. Because it's not like we're not taking action at all. It's just you're taking the right size action while you're also increasing capacity. And if you don't do that, then you're pouring into places that can't hold it.
I know. And there's some easy tools that we start off with, and then there's some more in-depth tools. One of the easiest, the first things that we can start off with is like a 3-minute reset, where you just go to the bathroom, right? Go someplace where you're not going to be distracted. And if you can, if not, you can do your breathing exercises in front of your classroom, because that's happened before.
I do them in the car when I'm in traffic and really annoyed.
Right? And it's a minute for you to just assess your body, and you stop at, we know when we're getting overwhelmed or whatever, right? In traffic, you're like, why is everything against me? Right? So if you just pause for a second, find your feet, think about grounding. I mean, don't step on the gas if you need to step on the brake. But
don't close your eyes if you're in the car like me when you do it either.
Right? But if you just start taking mindful breaths with an exhale that is longer than your inhale, it is going to signal to your body that you are safe. And it is going to start to pull you back from that fight or flight, from that Yeah. And it's not going to make your day completely better, but once you pull yourself out of that dysregulation, you can then make decisions and take those steps forward for the rest of your day that are not from that place of, I want to strangle everybody.
Yeah, because the body always comes first, like we were talking about before, and so you have to regulate the body first. Otherwise, it's going to fight back against you. And the body signals are mostly subconscious, so it's like trying to use your conscious brain to get rid of subconscious programming. It's difficult. They're both running in opposite directions. And you do have to turn off fight or flight, and people don't understand that. Like, fight or flight is good in the sense of like you're running from a tiger. You know, you want to be have your heart pumping, and you're literally running away from something that's about to kill you. So you want that system to work. What happens is if you're not actually running from a tiger and there is no release at the end of that, then that switch stays on in your body. And your body is constantly going to react in a way that is prioritizing survival because it thinks we're still running from this tiger, you know, after 10 years.
Where is it? Where'd it go? It's going to be hiding around here someplace.
And if you're prioritizing survival, you're not able to set long-term goals and work on long-term goals. It's like when you get home from a long work day and you told yourself you're going to go to the gym every day, but you're tired that day. Your survival mechanism is going to say, we're going to sleep. We're prioritizing right now in this moment today, which it's not always bad, but if that's what you do routinely on autopilot, which is the other problem, like autopilot, if you're in survival mode, is just going to run you on survival mode. So even this breathing, it helps to turn that fight or flight like notification system off in your body, but it also gives you that pause that stops from like, okay, this trigger happens and this is how I respond. This has become a like habitual pattern in my brain. Being able to stop, take one breath even, will just stop that like wiring, that neurons that fire together, wire together thing. That's exactly what's happening all the time. And if we don't stop for 4 seconds and take a breath and break that cycle, we will constantly just make the same choices over and over and over. Even if your conscious brain says, why am I doing this?
Yeah. Like, it's not a big deal.
It's biology. I mean, we're trying to fight against biology. So what we're trying to help you guys do is to hack biology, to bypass that system that's on autopilot that's fighting you. You are essentially fighting yourself if you don't do this stuff first. So we're giving you some tips and tricks to be able to stop fighting yourself, basically.
Mm-hmm. So think about that. Like, again, I feel like most of us can relate to being in the car and being frustrated. So the next time you're in that car and you're frustrated, just pause for a second, take a deep breath, like count to 4, pause at the top, and then try to exhale for 6. And if you can do that a handful of times, awesome. And even you're probably still going to be annoyed with whatever happened, but it is going to bring your body, like the physiological change is inevitable when you're doing the things to pull yourself back out of it. And it's not going to make your day all better, but it is going to help you regulate yourself so that you can move forward through your day and not continue that revving all the cylinders 100% of the time.
It gives you choice, because if you don't pause, I mean, honestly, it's like a robot running you. Your brain is running you and making choices for you. And so if you're like, to go back to that analogy of being in the car, if there's a lot of traffic and your first reaction is to like honk the horns or screaming at everybody,
like that guy I was telling you about the other day.
That's just what happens whenever I'm frustrated. Sometimes you ever have that feeling of like, who just did that? Because I didn't make that choice. Like, it just came out of me.
Yeah.
Like, taking a breath for a second, it breaks that automatic response system. And listen, you can still choose to lay on the horn if you want to, but at least you chose that. The same thing of like, if I get home and I'm laying on my couch eating a bag of potato chips, but like, I took a deep breath and I said, I'm having these today? Like, that's way different than getting to the end of the bag and going, how did that happen?
Just happened?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that I did that. So
at least when you're choosing it, you're enjoying it, right? Like, I'm doing this, and I'm going to taste every one of these.
I understand what I'm doing. I'm being mindful about it. I'm making a conscious choice, and I understand, what happens when I make this choice. That's way different than sitting there and looking back on your life like, who was really running the show here?
Right. And we want to we want to help you be successful in whatever areas you want to be successful when it comes to your health and wellness. And regardless of which area you want to improve, this is the first step. So that's the whole point of tonight's call, is to try and give you a look into what the real first step to making positive change in your life is. You don't need more motivation. You don't need the new day planner, even though it's cute and on sale.
I did get a new day planner.
I know.
I don't need it, but I want it.
Right.
I made that choice consciously.
Right? You need a regulated foundation. You want that support so that you can do it consistently, so that you are moving in the direction that you want to be moving in.
Shall we do a regulated breath together so people
okay.
can do it with us?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so like Christina was saying, if you elongate and have a longer exhale, it literally is like a switch in your body, and it tells your system that you are safe. Because if you're running from a tiger, you definitely don't have long exhales. Your body's going. So if you breathe like that regularly, which a lot of us do, breathing through our diaphragm, you're just telling yourself over and over, like, I am not safe, I'm in danger. So,
Or you're just shallow breathing and
Yeah.
not like taking anything in.
and it's terrible for you, but it's something that we all do without being conscious of it. So the more you can practice this, because it doesn't become habitual overnight, but the more you can practice it, is think about it's giving your body and your brain and your nervous system some love and care and safety on a regular basis. It's going to make a world of a difference. And plus, you're not pouring into that shot glass with a freaking fire hose. All right, so we will all close our eyes. We're going to take a deep breath in through our nose for 4, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top. Exhale through your mouth like you're fogging a mirror for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do another round. 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top. Exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just do one more. In through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top. Exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness, I feel better already.
You counted slower on the 6.
I felt my like
You're just
energy downshift.
All right.
And for even just leading on Facebook Live, I felt calmer, and I've been nervous.
Your first Facebook Live. Oh my gosh. All right, let's wrap this up for you guys so we're not keeping you here forever. So, where are we at?
You don't want to hang out with us forever?
In person you do. Facebook Live is okay. So, with the... Oh my god, I lost my notes here. Oh my gosh. Anyway, where's my note? Oh, so we kind of wanted to ask a question if you guys want to share. Like, what habit have you been forcing that isn't happening? What are you trying to change? I mean, we all try doing little things here and there, maybe big things, but like, what's something that you're like, oh, I really wish that this would stick. Why do I'm successful and then I fail, and up and down and up and down with whatever it is. So if you're comfortable, we hope you're comfortable, feel free to share, and we'd love to have a chat with you guys about it.
And even if you're not comfortable and you just write it down, just something to think about, or if you're watching the recording, it's something to think about too, because you can always message us after and talk about things. But I know for me, the habit I've been trying to get to stick is what we were just doing. Anything that is slow and still, I'm not good at, because my body is revved up a lot. So anytime I sit down to meditate, I all of a sudden have this like task list that's going 1,000 miles an hour. I was like, I can't sit here for 30 seconds. I have so much to do right now. And I'm learning that that's my nervous system just not feeling safe in stillness yet. And so I just paused to make that choice for myself of, okay, I'll take a deep breath. Like, I can definitely sit here for 30 seconds to a minute and slow down, and I definitely need to, because
definitely.
Yeah, that's
we're gonna quote that.
Those are the conversations I have with myself.
And it's no secret that I'm always working on getting better sleep, and it's along the same lines where like, but everybody's asleep, and now there's nobody in my way, so I'm going to get all of this stuff done. And then I'm running on high because I'm trying to get all this stuff done in a short period of time. And then I'm supposed to just like relax and fall asleep right after that. Like,
Yeah,
What
the
am I thinking?
never-ending task list.
Yeah.
We are definitely to-do list checkers.
Love that dopamine hit.
Mm-hmm.
Check. So everybody has stuff to work on. come work on it with us. So we just want to touch on the course a little bit. And well, before we get to that, every week in January, we're going to be doing our Wellness Wednesdays. There are events in this group that you can RSVP to so that you have a reminder for it. And if you have any questions, post it under the video, in the group, under wherever, we'll find it, and or you can message us. We're happy to answer questions, but each of them are going to be on a different topic that kind of take you through our 90-day program, because you want to know what you're getting yourself into. And
Honestly, you learn through experiencing things, and you don't know what you don't know. And it's really, we understand that it's hard to say yes to pretty much anything, let alone a 90-day program, if you don't believe you're capable, or maybe you don't believe in us, or you just don't know what to expect, and it can be overwhelming. So we're trying to give you guys a taste of what it's like to work on yourself and how you can feel, because a lot of times that ceiling of what we think is possible for us is way lower than it actually is. We found that out at the Solstice event. You know, people were saying to me, I've never felt this calm, or it's been a very long time since I've felt this way. And so having that nervous system regulation in real time and being able to actually feel into the experience is huge. Not just to like sell our program to you, but so that you know what is you're capable of and what you can actually feel like. Otherwise, you're just reading messages on a screen saying you can do better, you can feel better. It's like, that sounds great.
Quotes everywhere.
What does that actually mean? And can I do that? Like, maybe that's okay for you and you can have this great life, but I can't. It's like, no, we all can. And so we want you to be able to feel into that experience.
Right. And so I mentioned it before, we start with awareness, bringing it back to like, what's our body trying to tell us? What do those cues mean? And what can we do to get ourselves in a better container so that we can take action, which is step 2, and move in that direction. And then the last step
Is to anchor it in.
anchor. Oh my God.
I was
like, it's not accountability. Brain fart.
Because if you do not integrate your change, then it's just surface level. It's like pouring water into the ground and it's not saturating in. And that's what a lot of programs do. Like if you're looking at this like a sandwich, they're just giving you like the lunch meat. You know, let's take action. It's like, okay, but if we don't get ready for that action, like where is that supposed to land? And then if we don't put the bun on top, it's like all that's just going to fall right off your sandwich. So you have to have all 3 of those steps.
Running around on an open sandwich.
I mean, sometimes the open face sandwiches are delicious, but
covered in gravy. So in the program, it's a 90-day like hard reset, and then with the option for an additional 90 days of like a gentle integration, so that you can learn the stuff and make sure it's sticking and check back in. We've got coaching. There's group programs. There's group virtual, in-person, and one-on-one coaching sessions throughout the month.
This Facebook group that we're in right now is the community container too, so that we're not just the only ones who are providing support, we're all supporting each other. Because honestly, the best way to change and to learn and to grow is to also become the teacher and to become the supporter of each other. So we're really building a community, because you can't heal alone. Like, we heal in community. Right. And we want people to feel that support, but also to find like-minded people, because you're the product of the 5 people that you hang out with most. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have other like-minded people in your group, we're not telling you to ditch your friends, but maybe
be our friends.
But maybe add a couple of people in who can support your health and wellness and self-care goals too, because it just statistically, you're going to do a lot better in a program when you are doing it alongside of other people.
So we hope that you guys come back for all of our Wednesday wellness events this month. We're going to do at least one in-person event, right? Did we put that on the calendar yet?
Not yet. That was a secret.
Sorry.
But stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for something more. But we want to share all of the stuff that we have learned over the years and that has brought us to a better place. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you want me to email you the body signals tracker, give us an email address in the comments here if you're watching the video, or DM either of us, and we'll get that over to you.
And if you are more curious about the program too, just take a quick look at the Facebook group that you're in. We're going to start to post more things too as we go on, because it's an open enrollment until February. But just to get a general idea, we are kicking off the program with like an in-person retreat. And it's similar to our solstice retreat, so that'll be February 1st.
Yep.
So you can look, the event is already in there. We'll be sharing more information about that. And part of the program is to have those in-person community building and bonding, but also, like we were talking about, that real-time regulation together. So once a month in the program, we have an in-person retreat. So that's free and included in the program. And like Christina said, there's the one-on-one coaching, and we do calls like this throughout the program too. So it's education mixed with like a support group. It's basically like a hybrid container for you to be able to grow in, to learn different skills and to gain resources and things like that, but also to feel that support of what is it like if I'm guided through something and I actually feel capable, and what if I run into problems throughout it. You have 2 experienced coaches that can help you out, and we have, similar but also different backgrounds, so we're able to help in a lot of different ways. But if you are curious about what the program's about, just peruse through the group that you're in, and we did put some resources and information in there, and we'll keep dumping more in there as well.
Awesome. All right, I think we hit it all. Yeah?
Pretty good.
All right, guys. Thank you.
I'll see you next Wednesday.